Right, how did it?
Alright, I'm here.
You are a bold one, Mr. Church. It's unfortunate that so many needed to get hurt, and with you giving up, you'd sacrifice your friends to give yourself up. It's very cowardly.
I would give myself up to protect my friends. That's why I'm here. They're not a
That's why
part of
you
this
wanted me to
anymore.
come to the Oasis and risk someone else getting involved? Is that what you wanted? Me to kill an innocent so that you could have some kind of moral high ground martyrdom? The act of a
No,
craven.
it's a long ways here, and I know that you wanted to meet. A
No,
car ride would have been
you
faster, but
wanted
I
to
ran
meet.
here when you asked.
Make no mistake, you contacted me.
So what now?
Drop your weapons. Tell me about Mr. Miller, Church. And, Viking.
They're not around anymore.
I find this very
The
hard to believe.
resistance is dead. You made sure to that.
It is very, very funny that most of our operations that the Resistance has issues with is because of this quote-unquote Resistance just being a ragtag group of nobody bandits. Did you ever wonder why Taylor fought so hard to make sure that the Oasis was on good terms with the Hand, Mr. Church?
So you wouldn't exact your vengeance or fury upon us? Just like you
No, you
threatened
fucking
if I didn't come
buffoon.
here?
I threatened you. The only reason that you lived this long was because of Miss Taylor. You should thank her with every ounce of your being. The Oasis was a plan from Miss Taylor that I was involved in from day one. Rumors from bandits cloud your vision, and it's got your friends killed. Make no mistake, their heads are on your shoulders, just as much as any of their others.
I've seen enough of what you do to
Tell me,
know that's a lie.
what have you seen?
I don't think I have to explain myself anymore at this point.
No, I'd like to know. What do you know that isn't a rumor, Church?
Miss Rose, you, took my scope there, miss.
Go ahead.
I've seen you push
Enlighten.
around countless groups with your force
Like?
of arms, with your numbers, your high and
Like?
mighty attitude.
Are we not the Lord's chosen?
You can say that all you like. All I see is a tyrant.
Well, maybe we should take Miss Raven anyway, if that's all we are as tyrants.
I think
You don't
there are a
seem
lot of
to
people.
really... You don't seem to understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Church. You all lived because of Miss Shaw. You all lived because the Oasis was the brainchild of Miss Shaw, and I helped and did everything I could to ensure that the Oasis went smoothly. Of course you fucking ingrates didn't know what we were doing, because you couldn't keep our names out of your mouths long enough to see past your own clouded vision.
You say
We
you're not a
expected
tyrant, and
nothing
yet you
from
say that
the
we only
Oasis.
live by your good graces. That the Oasis only lives because of your good graces.
How
People
many other
wanted
groups
freedom
have you
there.
seen disrespect me like you have and get away with it, Church? Like Darius did and get away with it. That's what I'm talking about. I killed far more for far less.
And
The
that's why I
Oasis
thought
was
I
meant
had
to
to
be a
do
place.
something.
The Oasis was meant to be a place where people who were uprooted and had no home could go and feel safe. But you just couldn't stay neutral. You just couldn't stay peaceful. Instead, the security team was taken over by a ragtag group of bandits running operations out of the airfield, your own doctor spreading poison in the minds of those around them. What was his name? Cortez. So we stayed away. We stayed away so that the Oasis could take its time and learn. But it just couldn't happen. You just couldn't forget. Everything that you think you know is conjecture and rumors. We use our force to keep the people safe. Have you not noticed the lack of banditry, Church? Have you not noticed that they fear doing anything in public? They skitter around like little rats. Do you think I do this for my own benefit? What do I get out of it, Church? They can't touch me. There's nothing that
Get
they
what
can
all
do
men
to us.
crave. Power.
I already have the power.
Rule under
you
a
buffoon.
tyrant isn't freedom.
Where do you see freedom? Where is freedom implied in Chernarus?
Well, that's what the Oasis
You
was
were
about,
free under the
wasn't
Oasis.
it? Before you came around?
You were free
Now-
under the Oasis.
Now, son,
Yes, to live under your thumb.
no one tried to make you live under anyone's
how?
thumb.
I'm speaking to a wall. At what point did we ever make the Oasis do anything? What do you mean under our thumb?
I know men like you. I know one day
Oh,
that it was
my
gonna come.
Lord. Go ahead.
Right. Well, Mr. Church, listen. You were always free to be oppressed and say what you like, right? We said we no harm, no foul, you know, when it comes to what you write, as long as you're factual. But you weren't posting facts. I mean, son, you were just posting bias against anti-Han, anti-King County, anti-Sheriff, everything. And all it does is fester hate and causes an uprising in crime. That's what happened here, son. And then the Oasis falls under its own weight because the Oasis wasn't able to control its own folk. They seem to think that we had a hand in Miss Shaw's kidnapping when we were the ones who rescued her. Everything that came across to the Oasis... Listen, Mr. Church, don't interrupt me. Right? Everything that happened to the Oasis was his own doing. Everything that's happening now is his own doing. Now, I regret anything that might happen when I'm not looking. But everything that's happening here, that's on you there, Mr. Church. I seem to have dropped my gun there, Mr. Mastro.
Know this, Church. Take it with you to the afterlife when you face your judgment. I begged Mr. Miller to not make me do this. I told him that we would leave them alone. He chose to pursue this. I'm sorry that you're too dense to see that you got caught up in an unwinnable battle. Perhaps when we visit your friends, they may see things a little differently. On your knees. Hands on your head.
I'll die standing. Thank you.
On your knees.
Now, let the man have his pride.
You'll die on your knees. Your pride's gonna get your friends killed, Church. As I said, you're free to choose whatever you will, but you're not free from the consequences of your choice. It's very unfortunate what I have to do next.
Then deal with me. Don't take it upon people that don't deserve it anymore. They wanted no part in this, and I roped them in.
Why would you do that? How did you think that would go for them?
Because a man has to stand to his convictions. I see evil. I've seen it all my life. I couldn't stand around and see it more.
Oh, good grief. You truly have no idea what's coming, Mr. Church. If you think that we're bad, you think that we're evil, maybe so. Maybe we're not the good guys, Mr. Church. But I've seen banditry, and I've seen truly the most foul that can come out of a human spirit. And that's what I keep other people from.
Yes,
There are groups
yes,
on their
like
way.
ripping apart a human's heart and feeding it to the person that he loves. Yes, you are a stand-up fellow, aren't you? You're not evil,
Oh,
right?
I've never claimed to be good. Not once. I do
Then
what
you
I must
understand.
because I must.
Then we're the same.
It's very likely, Mr. Church, that I wouldn't even need to attack your friends. I just won't be protecting them any longer from what I have been. As I said, there are people coming back to the island that would very much like to have innocence to prey upon. I won't get in their way any longer. Valkyrie, do what must be done.
On your knees.
No.
On your knees.
I'll die as I lived, standing up to what's wrong and what's evil in this
You'll
world.
die as an idiot. Just, shoot him in the head. Man, the foot.
I'm sorry.
Very good.
I'm sorry there, but too much waiting around is just gonna cause issues.
Congratulations, you've made a martyr.
Yep.